Look at this, May 21st. Last night it was just tugging at me. I needed to come check on her, and I was dragging butt enough that, hadn't been that long since I've seen her. She's fine. So I didn't. She's looking at the dogs. Birds were on those pallets on the bins, and of course the birds move in there. They think it's rats, so they go up on it. Back to over here, I see a pair of dingle balls. Yeah, there's lighter colored, good sunburning ones. Sorry, I'm wiggling a little more than normal in here, but it's kind of hard to walk over here. She's in a good spot. Not a very clean spot, but a good spot. And I'm going to guess it's actually been on already because she's talking, right? He ain't that old, so it wouldn't have done me any good to check on her last night, right? I should have finished crawling my butt out of bed when I woke up this morning and tried. Yeah, skip and a jump, that's always good. Her teeth are clean and they weren't clean yesterday, so yeah. We're good to go, eh? Other than little buggers hiding behind her now. Good mama. Yes, good mama. Hi, baby. You gonna look at us now, huh? Get to see something beside your backside. Yeah. See, she's a 5 number, so that means she's a 15. So, 6-year-old, that's her 5th calf, and I think all she's had is bull calves, and she's all done really well with them. Because she's not a little boy. Far from being little. And she cleans him up right off the bat, so I have no doubt, especially the way his cord looks, that he ain't but a couple hours old. Probably about the time I woke up to get up for the day is when she had him. So I guess his balls ain't that light colored. They're still red anyway, they weren't white. First I thought they were white. Oh well. She picked a warmer morning to do it. It's 40 degrees this morning. Oh. Now there's only 3 left. And one of them's starting to look like she wants to do something. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's one in the middle right there. But this closer one almost looks like she's starting to get something in her bag, but that don't mean anything. They're all due the first week of June, so it's almost there. Okay, that's enough. By the way, yeah, this is what we got for a sunrise. Look for a thin spot in the sky. Watch the birds as they drop on you. Oh, I'm wandering without talking. Really, I do. I'm tired. I'm sore. And that's probably about it. I'll bring you back for something. Looks like Dino pulled babysitter duty. That does happen once in a while. It's not just the mamas that babysit. Bulls babysit too. Actually see it more often than people think.
Floor's cleaned up, pan's sitting outside in a tub, scraped out. Because this kind of crap, you don't just wipe it off. You just scrape the crap off. It's still sitting here dripping. And you know how many days has it been in here and that stuff is still dripping from up above? Nice mess. Trying to figure out what to do it because brake clean or gasoline is about all that's gonna do it. And she thinks she found a hole on a coupler up there. I think it's just a coupler, but I haven't seen it yet.
We don't see them little buggers fly over very often, especially that low. I mean, he's really only a couple 100 feet off the ground. So Y'all remember our mess in here, right? Came in for lunch. Floor's wet right there. And right there. I've been watching the freezer part of this thing. I try to put an ice pack on my back when I come in for lunch. Some days it's not froze solid, some days it is. Well, all the food that was in here, with the exception of some T-rounds or it was T-bone, that's soft all the way through. Everything else was still solid enough. I put it out in one of the big freezers. Everything in the fridge, our nice mess here, is all cold. So I know once in a while we have trouble with the fridge if things get crammed in here too hard, and then usually like there's a water bottle and a jar of salsa on the top at the back, they'll usually freeze. Water bottle's not froze, so that's not from being crammed in. So she's either dying or she needs a little help. I don't know which. Either way, say I just got the freezer empty. It was full. Maybe it just didn't like being that full. I don't know. But everything's out in the other freezer. And now I'm going to go either mess with that or see what I can do with a tractor and that big mess. My phone's funny to keep the glare out of the way. See? Looky there. Heisinger Farms, Mount Vernon, Kentucky on YouTube. Right there next to everybody else. Thank you, sir. I've had this little bugger for years. Used to use it quite a bit. It works good. Only holds so much. Only put 50 pounds in it to go squirt, squirt. Which would mean I'd be filling it all the time to squirt up underneath in there. So I went looking. I found an old fire extinguisher that needed a little bit of help. I gave it a little bit of help. Fixed the hose on it. Made sure everything's working right. I put a gallon of gas in that, and literally, most of what's in there was because everything that was on the bottom of the pan, all the crap from however many years, ended up down on that lower surface, which would be the back of the pan. And it didn't want to come out of there very easy. It had to get broke up. But I literally just went swish, and that's how clean the top came. And yeah, put some in the pan too and broke it up. So I'm going to put another gallon in that. I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm not going to leave the shop full of gas fumes overnight. And hopefully catch what we can catch and squirt that up. See if I can get down here low enough without crawling on the floor. See if we can get some of that cleaned off. Becky's been cleaning. She's got a lot of stuff cleaned out. She even got the bell housing cleaned out pretty good. Got the crap out around the front. And then she slid the pan under it, and that's where we're at. It's only been under here for a few minutes. The stuff's still dripping off, which is really kind of amazing how it hasn't just run off already. But it ain't going to. I know it. So while she was working on that, I cleaned the head up. A couple little things I'm wondering about. And I mean, it could have been when it was machined. There's two little divots right there. There's no edge to them. They're just little spots. One right there. Still a little carbon right there. I didn't get, I guess. But number 3. Why is number 3 all pitted up, especially the exhaust valve? My thinking is moisture might have come in around here, but that should have really pitted around that hole, and it didn't. Who knows? And the others look good. Everything's nice and smooth and pretty. Until we get to number 6. And the pitting's a little different. It's more like something was in it. Which, godly knows. I mean, they could have done injectors at some point in time and knocked a chunk of shit in. I don't know. But this is all pitting like water did it. I mean, maybe a little of that. Maybe something was in there and did that. I don't know. It seems more like water pitting on the valve, unless I need to actually do some chipping. That may just be carbon on there. I'll find out more on that tomorrow. But this one, obviously, something went for a ride. And not that I've cleaned any of this up yet, but I don't see any marks on that piston. That's number 6. Matches that last one we just looked at. And there's number 3. Yeah, light's wrong for the camera to pick everything up, but I don't see any marks in there either. So it doesn't look like anything's been in them other than the carbon that's here, and obviously there's a little carbon. So hopefully tomorrow, maybe start taking stuff apart in there. And I'm hoping that we can actually, I got to looking at it. Somebody mentioned something about having to deal with the timing, because we may have to pull the oil pump out to get a main cap off by the looks of it. So we might be doing a little more work than I wanted to do, more labor-wise anyway. But it is what it is. Now's the time to do it, because now's when everything's apart, and now's the time to slide them out. So we'll find out when we get there. Hopefully I can get number 2 helping on this tomorrow. And the other thing I did, spin you around, look at a little dirty face over here. She's already cleaned up a couple times. Got the injectors cleaned up on the outside. I don't know. Yeah, it ain't gonna focus anyway. None of the tips are blown, so that's a good thing. Everything looks good on them. Still need a little oil and rust left. It's mixed because I wire wheeled them good and used a brush on the tips, just in case there was an issue. You don't want to bust a tip. Then you know you got to mess with it.
I hate it when I bust a tip.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the day. Oh yeah, and now everything's coming out the other side of this. It actually is more oil than water by the looks of it. It's not quite as gray. Most of it's kind of black. So, yeah, the water didn't make it all the way through everything totally and mix it up good, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what we find tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody.